Hi, welcome back to Sporting Talk and Fight Lens. We are back in Liverpool for our monthly catch-up with the bomber, Tony Bellew. Tony, thanks for coming down. How are you doing?
Always a pleasure, champ. Great to be back on with you guys.
Good stuff, good stuff. I think last time, just after we sat down last time, Jake Paul announced his next opponent, Tank. What was your initial reaction to that?
I did all the talk about it being Anthony Joshua. It's definitely going to be AJ. This is getting closer and closer. And then out of the blue, just out of nowhere, it just goes right, I'm fighting Gervonta Davis. So you've gone from a 250 pound, 260 pound, whatever he is, heavyweight, to 135 pound world champion.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if Tank has got a belt anymore. Well, I think he has. Yeah, he fought Lamont Roach for it.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's just insane. I mean, he's half his size.
He never fails to surprise us, does he, Jake Paul?
Fair play. Listen, he's a marketing genius, but when it comes to people that picking his fights, I can't get my head around it. Like, I don't know, like, what kind of freak show people are going to be seeing, but people are going to tune in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. If Tank hits him clean, he's going to sleep.
Yeah.
Tank's got
we haven't really
legitimate power.
Yes, isn't he? We haven't really seen Jake Paul take a proper
No, I mean,
shot.
listen, he'll have a lot of smoke blown up his backside by his coaching team and people like that, but when he gets hit for real, with 10 ounce, well, I'm told it's 16 ounce gloves now, it's like an exhibition.
Right.
I'm told it's big gloves and head guards, he's going to need them.
He will, yeah.
Because if he was to get hit with a pair of 8 ounce gloves off Tank Davis, he's asleep. Because Tank can really punch. Like, I think, I'd probably go as far as saying, I think Tank's probably the most exciting fighter in the world.
Yeah, we're huge fans of him, as are you, yeah.
Yeah,
huge,
I think
so exciting,
he's
isn't he?
vicious, he's a finisher. And yeah, I can't get my head around it. He's going to be fighting someone who's a legitimate size of a cruiserweight.
Do you think, because he's spoken about retirement before, do you think he was kind of losing some love for boxing and this has kind of piqued his interest because it's something different?
Possibly.
That's what's got him back
possibly. Like, listen, you can't knock Tank whatsoever for taking this fight. He's been sat on the sidelines for quite a while now. He's not active, he's not busy. That means he's not earning. And when a fighter's not earning, how is he supposed to live?
Yeah.
And people are going to go, oh, well, he's a multi-millionaire already. Well, that's not going to last.
He's probably got expensive lifestyle to maintain. So.
Exactly. And, he's got a family to keep and he needs to stay busy. And like I said, this may not be the ideal opportunity. This may not be the ideal fight, but it is the ideal payday because he will earn an absolute fortune for this.
And I'd imagine from his perspective, he'll be thinking, I'm quick enough. Jake Paul won't really be able to land on me. I'll just stick a move.
I mean,
think he will try and rush him.
He'll rush him, he'll get close to him, he'll lean on him, use his weight. Jake Paul will get close. I think you're going to see something similar to what you've seen with his brother Logan and Floyd.
Okay.
But I don't actually think he'll land as much as Logan did. Logan went in like a bull in a china shop and just roughed up Floyd, threw him around, whacked him around the body. He didn't really have too much finesse about what he was doing, but he done absolutely great when he faced him.
Yeah, it was.
When you consider what it was. So yeah, I just think Tank and Jake Paul is just, it's welcome to the circus.
Yeah, it really is, really is. Well, speaking of circuses, Misfits at the weekend. A bit harsh to call it a circus, wasn't it? But great entertainment, to be fair. Fellow Scouser Darren Till, the gorilla.
I thought it was a brilliant show.
Yeah.
I've only attended to support my mates like Darren and Ty Mitchell, so I've always supported them boys. I'm a fan of what they do. I think there is a place for it. I've been quite open about this from the start. I don't hate on them. I think it's good what they do, but it'll be good until someone gets hurt. And someone is going to get hurt. It's going to happen. I mean, you seen when Dylan Dennis got in the ring on Saturday, how quick he choked that boy out. You have to understand, don't come into other people's domains.
Yeah, there's levels to MMA.
And he's got a serious jiu-jitsu game.
Yeah, it really has.
That's Dylan Dennis. So, yeah, I mean, on a whole, the event was quite good. It was entertaining. It was funny. It had a bit of everything, to be fair. And then, you see Darren does the job on Luke Rockhold. Darren's an excellent striker. So was Luke Rockhold in his day, but more of a leg striker. And Rockhold's ground game was really good. But Darren's a grade A striker when it comes to the mixed martial arts. And in boxing, he's shown that he's crossing over quite well.
Doesn't have to worry about the takedowns, so he can just let his hands go and you see the result there.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, listen, it's just a bit different. Boxing's the most damaging of all the sports because it's 95% punches to the head. In mixed martial arts, there's so many ways to lose. There's so much going on. And I think, you know, Darren's just going in there focusing on the hands.
Yeah.
So it was interesting, like I said, but Luke Rockhold was outmatched, outpunched, you know, just taken apart, really.
Yeah, fair play. Afterwards, obviously, Darren Till, you know, Carl Froch was there at ringside. Darren Till was kind of unleashing a verbal tirade. Yeah. Carl Froch wasn't really biting back, was he? But
Carl's fed into the narrative of that, you know, I think he's willing to get back in a boxing ring. I think he's missing it. I think if it makes sense financially enough for Carl, he'll do it.
This is going to be my next question from Seconds Out. Given that Carl Froch is considering a return, who is the one man above all others that could draw you, Tony Bellew, out of retirement?
I don't really have a name. I don't really have... Listen, we've all got a price. Do I want to? No. But then am I stupid enough to say I would never do it? No, I'm not. Because, like I said before, we've all got a price. Yeah. If someone was to stump up enough, yeah, you've got me.
There was a name that was bandied about, Lucas Rosansky.
Yeah, I was happy to fight him. We were looking at it. I spoke to Eddie about it, and Frank, and it just didn't stack up. And that was the top and bottom. But I'd like to have been a 2-weight world champion.
Yeah. Was that after you had retired then? Was it?
Yeah, that was literally 18 months ago.
Ah, okay, I see.
So yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It was just before he faced Lonzo Coley. I'd spoken to Lucas Rosansky, I'd spoken to his team, and it just didn't stack up. So
financially, and I suppose you're not going to want to take the risk if the reward's not right.
If the rewards aren't right, then there's just absolutely no point. Don't get me wrong, the legacy side of it does appeal to me, being a 2-weight world champion.
Yeah, of course.
But no, it just didn't work.
Not yet, but maybe.
Listen, never say never. It would take an awful lot to make it work. But as I said before, listen, if Elon Musk has got a price and Mark Zuckerberg have got a price, then so is the fat boy from Liverpool.
Watch this space. You never know. Just because he says he's retired, he might still be tempted back. We need your breakdown and prediction for a potential Tyson Fury and Moses Itauma fight.
Oh, no one said that to me.
That's it, isn't it? Because you know, he says he's retired as well, but I think he could be tempted back out, surely.
Bloody hell. Moses has got to go past 6 rounds. No one can be picking Moses against the top level heavyweight if he hasn't been past 6 rounds. And I basically got the Dillian White fight spot on.
You did, didn't you? Yeah, called it.
So yeah, it was, you know, harsh because I like Dillian, but you know, it was just one of them fights where Dillian hadn't fought someone that sharp, that fast and that powerful for the best part of nearly a decade.
Yeah, he's been in and out.
But you know, when you're in and out the ring and in activity, then when you do get back in the ring, they're against slower, heavier guys who aren't really coming to win. When you get him someone who's super sharp and he's on you like a, you know, like a blue-ass fly, then it shows.
Yeah, massive difference.
For Tyson Fury and Moses, Tyson's been at the level now for quite a while. I thought he pushed Usyk really hard in that last one that he had with him. And I just feel Moses, like I said, needs rounds.
Yeah.
I don't doubt how good he is. I think he's absolutely exceptional. But you will never know how good he is until he goes past them first 6.
That's right.
And then he ends going into the back 6 and he's in a close fight. Or he might even be winning. I might be winning by a country mile, but it's uncharted territory. It's unknown grounds that he's walking on when he goes past 6 rounds. And it's all well and good saying, I've done it in the gym and I've done this. I tell fighters all the time, the gym ain't the ring on fight night. The pressure, the lights, the cameras, the will and urge to win. Someone can be old man in you. You don't even know because you've not experienced it, you've not been there before. You have to experience it. And I would suggest for someone like Moses Itauma to experience it for the first time on a lesser level. I thought Andy Ruiz would be the perfect fight for him.
Yeah.
I thought Andy Ruiz throws enough shots. He's not a big enough puncher with one shot. I didn't like the Janelle Miller fight because he doesn't work hard enough. The work rate's not up there enough.
Fair point.
I don't like what's the other boy's name? The one who went the distance with Josh and went the distance with Dillian. Franklin, Jermaine Franklin.
Yeah, Jermaine Franklin. Yeah.
I don't really like that fight because he doesn't come to win. Andy Ruiz, I think it's the perfect fight. He comes to win.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't lying down for nobody.
No.
And I think that would be a really good fight to make.
George Groves suggested that we should get Itauma to fight 2 people in the same night because it knocks people out so quickly. I think it was quite serious as well, to be fair.
He's very good. I think George is just saying that for clout. I mean, you can't fight 2 in one night. Listen, he could wipe out 2 lesser fighters in one night, not a problem at all.
But that's not really the point of what he's trying to do now.
We've seen it before with KSI doing them kind of crazy things, having 2 fights in one night. I think at this kind of level of boxing, we're way beyond all that. But as for Moses, the right fight at the right time. Listen, he's being managed exceptionally well.
Frank Warren's doing his job well,
He's being managed perfectly. And that's no slight on the management team because he's just beating everyone put in front of him. Even when he went in against Dempsey McKean, you're like, okay, this should be a test. He's getting with the guys. He's in double quick time. So you've got to take your hat off to them and just say, fair play, well done. They are doing really well.
So Itauma, Tyson Fury, you wouldn't see that being a quick ending, would you? You could see that going down the home straight.
No one's knocking out Tyson Fury.
Yeah, he hasn't been knocked out ever, has he?
Nobody put down Tyson Fury out quick. I just don't think Tyson would even entertain it. I don't see the point in making a prediction. Like I said, no one's knocking Tyson Fury out quick. He's too long in the tooth, he's too smart, he's clever, he's got so many different attributes to use to negate what you do well. The size of Tyson Fury is the size of Moses Itauma, and I know people are going to say, well, look at the size of Usyk. He's similar size to Itauma. You're talking about possibly one of the greatest boxers of this generation.
Yeah.
You cannot compare Moses Itauma to Oleksandr Usyk.
Fair point.
I don't think you'll ever be able to compare anyone to Oleksandr Usyk. This guy reigned supreme at Cruiserweight, went all around the world defeating and smacking everyone's ass on their own turf, including mine. He then goes to heavyweight and does the exact same again, all while remaining undefeated. It's unbelievable what the boy's done. He's a once-in-a-lifetime fighter. You won't see the kind of
possible to match that, really, isn't it? Yeah. People love hearing you talk about Usyk because obviously you shared a ring, and some of the Ukrainian publications love your quotes. So
thank you. Listen, I'm just honest. Just be honest. And when you've lost to the better man, just hold your hands up and say it. It's just a shame that not all of the fighters do that.
Yeah.
If when you've been in the ring with someone as good as he is, there's no shame in it.
No.
I lost to the better man. I never faced anyone in my career or life. Never even sparred with anyone who could do what he can do.
Yeah, incredible guy.
And that's just the way it goes.
They're talking about being humble and kind of accepting, or sometimes, in boxing, results and judges and scorecards aren't what people expect. I saw you actually retweeted Roy Jones Jr. getting given the gold medal by the South Korean fighter. That kind of, I think it was 1988 Olympics, wasn't it?
I think it was Ji-Sun.
It was a robbery and the fighter decided.
For me, that is the worst robbery boxing's ever seen. The word robbery gets branded about too much these days. I see close fights and you got fights saying, I was robbed. No, you weren't. It was a close fight. Okay, you might have won, but it was really close. I can make an argument. Robbery is what you see happen to Roy Jones that day. That is the worst robbery in the history of boxing. It was truly frightening what happened on that day. To rob him of that Olympic gold medal. Scandalous. It was so sad. And I say it was emotional because you see Roy's in tears.
Yeah, I saw,
And for me, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Roy Jones is the greatest fighter I've ever seen in his prime. If Roy Jones retires after he defeats John Ruiz and becomes heavyweight champion of the world, it's not even a question. And I've seen people going on and messaging on social media, well, he failed the drugs test. Okay, well, let's just take away all the fighters' careers who have failed drug tests. What are you going to do? I don't agree with them. And I'll say it before, I'll say it again. I do think drug cheats should be banned for life. And the minute you do it once, it will make an example. You'll see very few failed drug tests. But if a commission's letting them fight, I'm not to blame. If a commission's going to let them fight and a governing body and a board's going to let them fight, then he's got to be let fight.
Yeah.
You know, and you've got to rank him. It's like people going on to me about Canelo. Are we going to say Canelo's not one of the best pound in the world? He's got a failed drug test. Yes, we all know he failed for the club use role. But the governing bodies have continued to let him fight. The sanctioning bodies have continued. So I've got to rate him and judge him as an analyst and as a pundit.
For sure.
And as long as he's lacing up the gloves and fighting, I've got to have an opinion. I've got to state an opinion. And my opinion is he's a great fighter. And my opinion will always be Roy Jones is the greatest fighter I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think it's hard to make a case against that.
I just think in his prime, I've never seen anyone so equally balanced in offense and defense.
Incredible.
I've never seen reaction speeds like it. I've never seen one-shot power like it. Roy at light heavyweight was just a freak.
Phenomenon.
A freak. That's what he'd like to say. Right. He's Usain Bolt of boxing. He's just unbelievable. Yeah. It can't be put into words. From the footwork, the mastery of things he was doing in a boxing ring, it's so hard to conquer. And then he goes up to heavyweight and faces John Ruiz, who was a nightmare, by the way, to deal with. It was a horrible style fighting heavyweight. Got stuck into fighters, got on the chest, made them work, and he just bamboozled John Ruiz.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got to give him his due, mate.
Yeah, fair play, credit where it's due. Incredible fighter. From someone who was so technically proficient to someone not quite on that level, Daniel Dubois. The question here is, will he become a world champion again? And Frank Warren says it's regrettable that he's fired Don Charles. Do you think he'll live to regret that decision? Two questions there, basically.
Yeah. Okay, I'll answer the first one. Yes, I think he will become world champion again. With the power that Daniel Dubois has, he's always going to be in the conversation. You can never write Daniel Dubois off because he has that one-shot power that can render someone unconscious.
Yeah.
What I will say is that the side that we've seen of him where when it gets tough and things are going against him, that's going to be something a lot harder to conquer. And he'll claim, and his team will claim around him that, oh, well, we've seen him come through them moments in the likes of your Filip Hrgović fights and your Jarrell Miller fights, but they weren't the moments because he was having success. And I don't believe you will ever see Daniel Dubois say he's had enough when he's having success in the fight. If Daniel Dubois is hitting you back and catching you, it won't matter how many you're giving him, he will continue to come and he will continue to press. But the minute Daniel Dubois is failing to land shots and the minute Daniel Dubois is taking too many shots, he will always have to answer the questions. And up to now, each time that's been asked of him, he's failed. People will go on to me, well, in the Kevin Lerena fight, he gets up 3 or 4 times. I get it, but he's landing someone Kevin Lerena too.
He was still, having
he's
success,
still in the fight.
Yeah.
But when
against Usyk, it was a totally different story.
He's had enough, and he's lost. And I can't blame him because it's so hard. In the Joe Joyce fight, he hits Joe Joyce with the kitchen sink. He can't miss him, and it breaks his heart. And as I've said before, and I'll say again, the first time you knock it on the head, the first time you spew it or quit, and I don't like using the word quit, the first time you say you've had enough is the hardest. So let me tell you, in my life, I've come across them moments many a time, but I'm stupid. I'm not the brightest. I've got a switch where I go, I'm going to get you, and if I don't get you, I'm going to die trying. And I'm not proud of that switch because I've got 4 kids in the house. I had 3 kids when I was fighting, and I'm not proud of that. But I had to go out on my shield. You know, it's like I go back to the end of round 7 when I face Usyk. Now, I couldn't breathe properly in the corner. I was that exhausted and tired. And my coach knew it, but he also knew that he could never throw that towel because I'd have attacked him for throwing the towel first. And I'm going out and I go out on my shield, and I'm like I've just said before, I'm not proud of that because I've got 3 kids and I might not make it home.
I hear what you're saying.
But it's in me that I can't change that. That's the part of me where I go, I'm sorry, and I just apologise to my missus and my kids and say, I'm sorry, but this is the way I'll go out.
You're a warrior. It's admirable in boxing, but I see what you're saying. When you've got family, it's kind of a conundrum. Should I be doing
It's not being a warrior, it's an idiot. But I can't change what I am. And that's just not what Daniel is. He's an amazing fighter. He's far stronger than me. But mentally, he doesn't align the same way I align. And that there's nothing wrong with that. That's just his makeup. That's what makes Daniel Dubois. That's not what makes someone like, let's say, Miguel Cotto. He's one off the name of many. Dozens of them. He's not, that's not the makeup of Floyd Mayweather.
No.
And I'm not for any
Joseph Parker.
I'm not for any second suggestion that I'm on the same level as them. I'm just trying to point out that certain fighters make up different.
Definitely, yeah.
It's like, I'll give you a good one, Ricardo Mayorga. Ricardo Mayorga was the best flat track bully the world's ever seen. When Ricardo Mayorga was on top, he was really on top. He was jumping all over you. He was brave as anything. He will give it everything he's got, and he will fight and fight and fight. But the minute Ricardo Mayorga is outmatched and being bullied, he doesn't want to know. You've seen it when it came to the Oscar De La Hoya fight. You've seen it when it came to the Cotto fight. He turns away. He's had enough. These are just certain fighters that, you know, they just psychologically the makeup isn't fully all there.
Yeah, fair. I suppose it's horses for courses, different types of fighters. That's what makes boxing so incredibly interesting. Fabio Wardley is reportedly close to agreeing a fight with Joseph Parker now. I think Usyk's kind of a bit injured, so he's kind of taken a step back, which he's deserved at this point.
It is, but first of all, I think it's a disgrace of anyone to strip Oleksandr Usyk. This guy's been very thorough with how he's, you know, gone through the division and cleaned it up for everyone. He's made quite clear who the number one is. I think to strip him is wrong. I do believe Joseph Parker does deserve a shot at the heavyweight championship of the world, and if that's not going to be the case, Joseph Parker should be the person fighting for it. It's smart play by Frank Warden and his team to stick Fabio Wardley in, because I come with the champion, I leave with the champion.
That's true,
and it's a Don King mentality kind of way. It's smart, it's a clever play. If I was managing Fabio Wardley, I don't think he's ready for that fight.
Come too soon for him,
And I think the Justice Huni fight showed that. He just needs a few more rounds against a bit better quality opposition. Once again, he falls into that bracket where Moses is. And Andy Ruiz fights there. Maybe even a Jermaine Franklin fight makes more sense for Fabio Wardley than it does Moses Itauma. Maybe a fight against a Philip Haig, which you've got to remember, Fabio Wardley comes from a white-collar background with very little amateur experience.
Which showed in this last fight, to be fair.
And it does, because Justice Huni is boxing him, and he's outboxing him thoroughly. He's winning most rounds, but then, like I said before, he has that equaliser. Fabio can really punch. And the fact that Fabio is still in there, throwing punches and believing in himself, that's what makes him dangerous.
Credit to him.
So he will have a puncher's chance against Joseph Parker, but I think Joseph Parker would know too much at this stage in his career. And I think he's been massively revitalised under the tutelage of Andy Lee.
Fair play.
I do rate Andy Lee as one of the best young coaches in the world, if not the best young coach in the world.
Kind of feels like he's got more experience than his age he should at that age. He's wily, isn't he?
You have to understand that this guy was raised with the greatest coach who's ever lived, in my opinion, in the late great Emmanuel Steward. I believe the Kronk has produced the best fighters from scratch ever. You know, these guys have produced the likes of Thomas Hearns. And Thomas Hearns was technically perfect. Probably pound for pound one of the greatest punches boxers ever seen. And he made styles, gelled, you know, from like Mike McCallum was there. And
early days.
Emmanuel Steward was an amazing teacher. Lennox Lewis,
About
the Holyfield, he worked with that. He's worked everyone. He's probably the most well-known hired gun of all time, Emmanuel Steward, what he was.
Great.
And it's carrying on. You know, Sugar Hill Steward's doing a great job. You could see that the adaptations he made with Tyson Fury and the slight changes he made to him, I believe it made Tyson Fury easier to beat. The changes that Sugar Hill Steward made to him, but they worked brilliantly for the Deontay Wilder fight, because Deontay Wilder is a fighter who could never fight going backwards. But Tyson Fury's greatest assets was his versatility, his movement, his footwork for someone his size, and his actual defence. And Sugar Hill took a few of them away and replaced them with a more aggressive style, front foot, trying to turn him into a puncher. So while they worked for a lot of the vast majority of boxers, they didn't quite work for Tyson Fury. I thought the best version of Tyson Fury, if I'm being totally honest, was under his uncle.
Really,
I think under Peter Fury, he was so fit, I never seen him tire. Well, the John McDermott fighter did, but I just thought...
That was peak Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury against Vladimir Klitschko, that's a proper that's a problem. It wasn't the greatest fight to watch, and I don't think his style was very appealing. But I'll tell you what, mate, he was possibly one of the hardest heavyweights I've ever seen to beat. Ever. Because he uses his size, he uses his strength, all to his advantage. He draws you to him. His footwork's good, so yeah, that version of Tyson Fury for me is very hard to beat.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, if you were managing Anthony Joshua right now, what would be your next move for him at this point in time? We know he's still recovering from his elbow surgery.
Martin McCauley in Africa.
Okay.
I think he knocks
Rumble in the Jungle type.
I just think it would appeal to so many people.
That would be globally
spectacular. It would be huge to take boxing back to Africa.
Yes.
It would be the first time, I'd say, since 1976. Is that what year it was? 76?
Well, so it's been a long time, 50 years.
So yeah,
coming up to,
going back there.
That would be a showstopper.
Would have been special, yeah.
Really
so
would.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. And then,
you know, Martin McCauley and Martin McCauley, the greatest sparring partner in the world I've ever seen. Knocks everyone out in sparring.
We've given him a bit of stick on the.
No, I like Martin McCauley. He's not a bad guy, but I just think every time something's mentioned to Martin McCauley, he moves away from the actual fight and goes, "Well, I sparred them and I beat them up and they sent me home." And I'm like, you're not quite getting it, bro. It's not about sparring.
Yeah.
All that matters is what happens under the lights.
Right.
I've been absolutely tanked in the gym. I've had fighters come in and I've paid them like, I remember going to America one time and I had to give this kid $500 for the day's work. And he was supposed to do 8 rounds. He got out after 6, but the 2 days before that, I gave him $300 and he absolutely knocked the living shit out of me. He punched me all over the ring for 6 rounds. So then when I asked him to come back, he said he wanted $500 or $600, whatever it was, and said, I said, okay, you can have that, but you've got to complete 8 rounds. And he jumped out after 4.
Oh no!
This time I got him back, but
yeah. So you'd figured out.
The young kid, I don't forgot his name, Jess. I got rid of him. This young boy, I got rid of him, and then the gym went out and got Shawnee Monaghan. I sparred Shawnee Monaghan, and I'll leave Shawnee to explain how that one went. And then I also, after Shawnee Monaghan, they got someone else in, and they got a boy called who's the guy who knocked out Bernard Hopkins, light heavyweight, Joe Smith. They got Joe Smith in. And I dealt with Joe Smith in Gleason's as well. But Joe Smith was a good fighter. Joe Smith was a strong boy, but Joe knows how it went. I'll leave Joe to tell that story. It's not my story to tell. Well, it is my story to tell, but I don't believe in sparring stories. This is what I'm saying. But I've gone to America and give out hidings for fun. I've knocked people out in America. I've dropped people in America on multiple occasions, but I don't tell people who I've done it with and how I've done it.
Gym stories where you got beaten up.
Of course, but then I've also had gym stories where I had Wadi Camacho come to our gym and knock 10 tons of shite out of me. So it's just like I've had Steve Simmons come to the gym and knock 10 tons of shite out of me. So over the years, some days you're on it, some days you're not. What I used to say is it doesn't matter if I'm on it or not in the gym. It means I've got the work in, I've got fitter that day. Even if I took a hiding, I've learned something new. All that matters is when I get under them lights on fight night, I perform. And for me, thankfully, out of whatever 34 fights in my career, I believe I performed well in I'd say 28 out of 34. The other losses, like I can openly happily say, I only lost twice in my career to the better man. I lost to Adonis Stevenson, even though I was weight training, I'm not going to lie, I was dead at the weight at light heavyweight. It killed me. Played a massive factor, but he still beat me. And then the only time I've ever felt where I lost and I was at my best and I tried and gave it everything I'd done was Usyk. So everyone else in my career, I've beat every other man I've faced. I've got 2 fights with Nathan Cleverly, won one, lost one. I thought I won both. I've had 4 or 5 rematches in my career. I've won every single rematch I've ever had. David A, Oliver McKenzie, Nathan Cleverly, Isaac Chilemba. I think that's 4. So I think there's 4 rematches I've had in my career. Every one of them have been avenged. My greatest asset was preparation. And the only trainer I really see putting as much detail into the preparation as I used to do is Ben Davison. My coach, Dave Caldwell, was a brilliant coach. He actually added to my game later on in my career. He made me defence far tight, he made it far better. And he failed, but he tried to stop me, get me, and that's what he failed to do. But on a whole, mate, I'm happy. When I look back at my career, I'm really happy. But when I hear the sparring stories, I just think to myself, I've had hidings of fucking fellas who are area champions, and I've been a world champion. But it just depends how you feel. You've got to understand, when I win a world title, or when I'm British Commonwealth European champion, I'm hiring these lads to come in and paying them a wage. This is their world title fight. Every time they turn up at the gym, for me, it's not a fucking day. I've just grafted my bollocks off yesterday to the absolute. I'm drained, I'm dead on my feet. I've got to spar 10 rounds with 2 different sparring partners.
God, yeah, people don't see that. Goes in behind the scenes.
But then it's like Ben Davison come up and Ben used to bring a kid called Tom. What was Tom's surname? Tom Little. So when I moved to heavyweight and fight at Forte, he brought Tom Little up. And I give Tom Little a good going over. But then some days he'd be doing well with me. And then Chisora would jump in. Now, Derek's probably never won a single round against me in sparring. It's just the way it is. It's just styles make fight. Froch, I've sparred hundreds of rounds with Carl Froch and never had a problem. So it's just, sparring doesn't mean fuck all.
No.
All that matters is what happens when you get under the lights.
Yeah. Well, he found that out against Joe Parker, didn't he, to be fair? Yeah. Speaking of Martin Bacoli. Let's talk about the Cruiserweight division at the moment. Jai Opetaia, obviously we've spoken about him. Yeah. Top class,
he's
top
head
quality.
Head
and shoulders. I think there's talk that he might face Chris Billam-Smith on the Eubank Ben undercard. Do you give Chris Billam-Smith any hope there?
No.
Yeah, it's hard
I
to
like
see,
Chris. I think Chris Billam-Smith's a lovely gentleman. He's got a really good coach in his corner in Shane McGuigan. I really do rate Shane McGuigan as a coach. I think he's the worst manager I've ever seen in my life. But I think he's one of the best coaches in the world even. I think he's a very good coach. He adds to the fighters. All of his stable, his fighters do progressively get better. But I think that's an absolute nightmare fight for him. Chris Billam-Smith should not be anywhere near Jai Opetaia.
Yeah. It's going to be tough.
I mean, the fight.
Tough night at the office.
You've got to understand, if Zerdo Ramirez beat him the way he did, Jai is going to take him apart. And Jai is not somebody who takes you apart and outpoints you. Jai is somebody who takes you apart and hates you.
Yeah, savagely. That's the fight we need, really, isn't it? Zerdo and Jai.
Well, Zerdo's pissing around with a few different things, isn't he? So I'm not sure if he's really that keen and eager to make it. The writing's on the wall. It's crazy because Jai isn't even that big of a cruiserweight. He's actually quite small.
Yeah.
For the cruiserweight, yeah. So I'm amazed that he's even considering going to heavyweight, but I think he's considering going to heavyweight because there's just no challenges for him.
That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah.
And most importantly, fighters want to get paid.
Yeah.
And the only paydays for him is going to be north of
That's it. We saw Lawrence Okoli go up, didn't we? So Okoli.
Lawrence, to be fair to Lawrence is a big dude. Lawrence is a lump. Lawrence Okoli's big. I know because I've stood around Lawrence. And I'm just like, oof, you're a big fucking cruiserweight.
Yeah, fair point.
You're a big lump.
We've seen a resurgence in British boxing talent recently. I mean, it's never been a lack of it, but specifically recently. Who are the 3 UK fighters you believe are carrying the torch right now?
Dalton Smith.
Yes.
Adam Azine.
Yes.
Ben Whittaker.
Kind of a bit of a forgotten name in the last couple of months.
Believe you me, mate, that kid's got it.
He has got a lot of skill.
I think Jack Turner's one to watch. Jack Turner's a very, very bright boy. Who else?
Good names there, I think, yeah.
There is. I like the look of George Liddard. I do like the look of Cameron Vong. Tia. She's the one. Tia May Ayton is, believe you me, just sit back, enjoy the ride, because she's going to start now, and I promise you, in 2 years' time, she will be the face of female boxing.
That's kind of what we need, isn't it?
She's only had one pro fight. I don't care what anyone says. She's the next Katie Taylor. Right. She's the next Clarissa Shields. She's going to eat everyone alive. I don't know why I'm saying this after one pro fight, but
must have seen
I just watched the way she moved and the way she put her shots together, and I just thought, wow, okay, you're the one. Like, I don't even need to see. I don't care who you're the one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a fighter do that or look like this in a long time. I'm telling you, bro, she's
impressive.
She's outstanding.
We'll definitely be tuning in to watch her this weekend.
She's on this weekend in the Sunderland bill. Top of the bill's McCormack versus Paddock.
Okay, right, you heard it here first from the Bomber. All right, we will be following her career with interest. Quick word about Dave Allen. I think he's fighting Arslanbek Makhmudov, who's quite relatively, not too much is known about him, but he looks like a good prospect as well. Yeah, dangerous fight.
We've seen that he can be outthought and outwitted and hurt himself by Aisha Caballel. but he's a big, dangerous lump. This is going to go one of two ways. Either he comes in, he gives Dave a few licks and knocks him out pretty quick, or, which my version of events, what I think will happen is Dave Allen will get rid of this fella in about 7 or 8 rounds, but he'll take a few, and he'll have to absorb some. Yeah. And then I think Dave might outman him down the stretch and stop him late.
What we love about Dave Allen is he said he picks the most dangerous fighter because it makes him train harder.
I think a part of that, a little bit of that's true, but I think the bigger part and the more truthful factor is, he's getting paid more money.
Oh yeah, that helps.
This opponent makes more money, so you get given a list of opponents, and usually there's a number next to each one of them, and he's probably just gone, right, it's this much for that one, this much for that one, and then there's that much for him. And you're like, okay, well, fuck it, I'll take him.
I'll take that then, yeah.
It's like, either way, you're going to camp for 12 weeks, no matter who it is.
That's true.
So you want to get paid the most, and you have the biggest reward, and the biggest reward usually comes when you face the biggest punches.
That's fair.
It's like football. The people who put the ball in the net, they get paid the most.
Yeah.
In boxing, it's very similar. The biggest punches make the most money.
There's got to be some big British opponents out there for Dave Allen, though, after this. He comes through this. Where does he look after that?
Ooh, I mean...
We've got so many British heavyweights.
Dave Allen, I mean... Do you know what? No, I don't want to say that. I don't want to see Dave Allen going with Daniel Dubois.
Well, that's what I thought you were going to say, but yeah, I mean...
I don't want to see that.
Could end badly, but...
Yeah, it could be nasty. Do you know what would be an interesting one? Dave Allen and Derek Chisora.
For the 50th.
I don't think it's worthy of Derek's 50th, but
maybe
I want to see Derek going with someone who's not going to hit him with one, who's a big puncher, basically.
Yeah.
Dave's a respectful puncher. Dave's never going to bingo someone with one big right hand over the top. No. But what Dave's going to do, he's going to progressively wear you down and wear you out. And if anything, he's going to break your heart.
Yeah.
And that's what Dave Allen does by being in there. It's just, you'd have to be able to hit really hard to subdue Dave Allen.
I think that'd be a war, wouldn't it? War Chisora.
I think it'd be a good watch. It'd be one I'd be interested in watching, but it'll be interesting to see now, because as I said, Dave, he's kind of turning into a bit of a cult hero.
Yeah, it really is. He's got a lot of fans.
That win over Johnny Fisher catapulted him. I think Johnny Fisher's far better than people think as well, by the way.
Yeah, agreed.
I think Johnny Fisher's a good fighter who just badly lacked a game plan. He has the crazy thing about Johnny Fisher is, he's brave as anything.
Absolutely.
Because he weren't giving him, mate. He got up and he wanted to fight on till the very end. So I've got to give him massive props for that, because that's not easy to do being in the heavyweight division. You usually find with heavyweights, they're not very accustomed to taking damage and punches, because usually you just get hit one big shot and it's over. Yeah. When you test the heavyweight's bravery, the real brave ones are few and far between. And he is one of them. That is a brave one. He is staying in there till the end. And with that kind of mentality, that's going to get him quite far enough. Take that aside. He has quite good technical ability. He's got a good strong jab. He can punch. He just needs fine tuning and helping and teaching in little aspects. And wherever he chooses to go next, I think he's chose to go with Tony Sims. That'll be a smart move. Tony's very experienced with all different weight classes, with all different training regimes. They've got a good S&C team down there. So I think these are all things that Johnny will learn from, and ultimately that's what he needs, experience. For sure. Speaking of heavyweights, Lennox Lewis turned 60 years old this week, which is kind of hard to believe, really, because we remember him obviously in his prime. But of course, in his prime, how would he have fared in the current heavyweight landscape? Do you think he would have just been head and shoulders above, but Usyk's there, so might have been difficult? I think... I don't know if anyone would beat Lennox. He had it all, didn't he? He just really did. Lennox could do it all. And probably the first great thinking heavyweight since Muhammad Ali. A heavyweight who uses his brain to tactically break fighters down. Yeah. I think he was... I'd say Larry Holmes. So it went from Muhammad Ali, and then the thinking guys weren't there, and then it went to Larry Holmes. He was a real thinker, broke people down, probably the greatest jab I've ever seen in boxing. And then from Larry Holmes, the thinking guys went out the window for a number of years, because Mike Tyson appears. Instinctive it's all fighters. Rough and ready. It's all about brutality and power. And then Lennox comes along, and it was just perfection.
Yeah,
Lennox on his day is perfect. Balance, offense, defense, all really, really good and tactical as well. You know, like I said, a real chess player in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
You know, the
Iconic.
Specialist pugilist, his name said it all.
Fair point. On the end of a couple of dodgy decisions as well in the first Holyfield fight, should have really got
but that's one that can be called a robbery. I mean, the first Holyfield fight was a robbery. He won that fair and square. Eugenia Williams with that card, an absolute disgrace.
Yeah.
The rematch was actually quite close. I still think Lennox won, but I thought the rematch was a lot closer than the first fight.
Yeah, weird how it works out like that sometimes, isn't it? But okay, final couple of questions. Let's go back to Misfits for a little bit there. Joey Essex, what did you make of his performance? I think he got crucified. Some fans hammered his despair as atrocious, but it was
have to understand.
good value, wasn't it?
I went in the dressing room seeing Joey before. Now, I've spent time with Joey on SAS.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
He's a lovely lad, but he was super nervous. But I thought he was absolutely amazing. I thought he'd done fantastic.
Didn't he?
Thought he'd done really well, and I'm just like, good on you, Joe.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Fair play. It
He
takes a
got
lot
in
of guts
there.
just to get in there,
Listen,
doesn't it?
I'm telling you now, he could not breathe.
He was gassing
Excuse
out
me.
that last round.
He could not breathe walking out in that last round.
Yeah.
And just to go out there and not be in his corner and say, I've had enough now, it shows serious bollocks. And I give him all the world, all the credit in the world.
Yeah.
Both of them guys put it all on the line. And yeah, they just... I've never seen two people in a boxing ring be so tired. Like, I thought at one point they were just looking at each other, standing there, just looking at each other. I thought they were going to go, are you good? Are you good? And I just thought they were going to go, we've had enough, haven't we? And just touch gloves. But they just kept swinging at each other. I mean, they were that exhausted. Joe was trying to punch him, but it was just like like a cat hitting another cat. It was.
He took
it
a
was
standing
funny.
8 count as well. I think just out of exhaustion, probably.
Mate,
But
it was just like I say, it was really, really good to watch. Good laugh.
yeah. Yeah, great
And
night.
yeah, well done to Joe.
I think Misfits released a graphic of the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters, which saw Andrew Tate in 10th. But he hasn't boxed on Misfits before, but rumours of a bout with KSI. Could you see Andrew Tate and KSI in there?
That'd be big. I don't know. I mean,
He's a kickboxer, isn't he? Really,
he
by
was,
trade,
yeah.
But no, I'm sure he must be.
I don't know too much about him, but you know, I look at him on social media and what he's doing. He puts an awful lot of positive stuff out there for the kids. He puts some negative stuff out there as well, but he gets a reaction.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. I don't know enough about him to comment, but I can comment when I'd say JJ, KSI, and Andrew Tate would be huge.
It'd be a massive fight, wouldn't it? Yeah, we'd definitely tune in for that.
That would be
the World Boxing Championships kicked off in Liverpool today. Over 550 boxers from 65 countries will be competing. Will you be watching or taking part?
Yeah, I've been a big part of the build-up. I've been a big part of, you know, making everyone aware of it in Liverpool. So I've been kind of an ambassador of the Liverpool City Council.
550 boxers, that's massive, isn't it?
For me, the World Championships is harder than the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
As soon as the first 2 rounds are over, there is no weakness there. Everyone's a top-level competitor. You have to understand, you can go to the Olympic Games and you can get lucky with the draw and you can be on the right side or whatever. In the World Championships, that can't happen.
No.
Because you are meeting quality after the first 2 bouts I've had. And if you got lucky and got a nice draw, the quality is there from the last 16 onwards. All the quality.
Yeah, you can't blag it.
It's very, very, very difficult, mate. It really is. That's the reason why, you know, we've only ever had one world amateur champion.
Yeah.
That was Frankie Gavin.
Frankie Gavin, yes.
And that's how long that's how long now it's been. So I hope we can do it. We've got 2 fantastic prospects from Liverpool, in Callum Macon from the Sunday ABC and Odell Kamara from Salisbury ABC. Okay. 2 brilliant fighters. There's many more, as I say. We've got 1 in each weight division in the Team GB. So
good luck to them.
Good luck to them. I'm hoping we can finally find ourselves a world amateur champion again.
It's been too long, hasn't it? So hopefully this could be the year. Final question: what's the biggest difference, or what was the biggest difference you found between the amateur circuit and professional boxing?
Well, for me, when I turned professional, it was still 4-2s, head guards and gloves.
Yes, yeah.
I was never accustomed to that. I'm a 3-time ABA champion, and if anything, I probably overachieved as an amateur. I never lost a dual international for my country. I boxed Russia, Canada, Hungary, Poland, America, and I won every dual international level face, only lost in tournaments.
What a record.
Yeah, so I beat some good people.
I'm sure, yeah.
But the biggest difference, I'd say, I wanted to get to 3-minute rounds. I wanted the smaller gloves. I wanted no head
You're
guards.
ready to just...
I was set for that. I was always made to be a professional fighter.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
never made for the amateurs.
No.
Amateur boxers, I had some amazing amateur boxers in my gym. In Rotunda ABC, there was the Smith brothers, Joe Selkirk, Joe McNally, Declan O'Rourke, to name a few. We had such a Tasha Jonas. We had an amazing stable of fighters.
Yeah. It's 2 years ago today. 2 years ago, maybe this month, that we did our first interview there in the Rotunda. Yeah, time flies.
We all came under the tutelage of Jimmy Albertina, the late great Jimmy Albertina.
Yes,
the best coach I've ever known.
You saw his photo
and
on the wall there.
It was just, we had a fantastic team, but there's such a big difference in amateur. As an amateur boxer, you turn up, you're a team. You train as a team, you work together, everyone's in it for each other, and then you go pro and everyone's out for themselves, which killed me a little bit, because I loved being part of the team and I was always there for my teammates. Even as a professional, I would first always look to how I could help the other pros. So when it came to my bills in Liverpool, and I was at this time, I was in control of putting them on, I was putting on all my mates who I thought my mates were scousers.
It's very admirable.
And that's what I would do.
It's like rappers putting their mates on.
Of course,
Yeah.
And I would always look to do that and raise us up and help us, but not everyone thinks like me, unfortunately, and that's just the way it goes, mate. You know, you learn to adapt, adjust, and in the end, mate, you look out for number one, because that's what everyone does.
I'd imagine you're probably the exception rather than the rule in those early days, but like I said, you've got to learn quick in pro boxing. But
Definitely.
Did all right for yourself though, Tony. In the
So, mate, so.
Still trying. More than a bit. Well, that's great chat today. I love that. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.
Next month. Cheers, Tony.
Stay tuned to Fightlands, guys.
Subscribe and like, comment.